Alright, this is a true story. I just recorded this whole Q&A video, or at least I thought I did, and I went to push the stop button on the camera, and then I realized that it hadn't even been filming the whole time. So we're doing the whole thing over again. Second time's better than the first time, so let's get to it.
DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Q&A number 83 is Friday, August 14th, 8:38 a.m. I'm recording this. You're going to be watching this on Saturday, August 15th. What I do here on this Q&A is I take all the questions from the previous week's Q&A. I read them out loud here on camera, record it, obviously record it. This video becomes the next week's Q&A. Y'all leave comments on that one. That becomes the questions and the answers become the next week's Q&A. So basically, you guys' energy, you guys' questions are what power the Q&A. The questions get whacked and nobody got a question to ask, then I won't do a Q&A. But as long as y'all keep it going, we're going to keep the shit going. And what I just told you is a true story. I did just record this whole video, at least I thought I was, and then I realized that the camera wasn't even recording. So we're doing this all over again. When you record 4,000 plus videos on YouTube, that's the type of shit that happens every once in a while. Ain't nothing to complain about. Let's get to work. Before we even get started, Hoop Handbook, NBA Signature Workouts, 33 new programs are out now. They came out earlier this week. Actually, it was supposed to be today, but of course I finished early, put them out early. If you pre-order, you should already have gotten an email about that. Everybody is set. 33 new programs. That brings us to a total of 86 signature workout programs available on the website. There are over 150 programs total available on the website, completely on the court, off the court, skill programs, NBA signature workout programs, and merchandise, all available on the website. Now let's get right into the questions without further ado. First question is Trayvon says, you ever gone through a serious injury? And thanks for all the content you put out every day. Well, you're welcome. On the second question, the first question, I've not had a serious injury, knock on wood. The worst injury, I won't even call it an injury, will be knee tendonitis. But players play with tendonitis all the time. Players play whole seasons, whole careers with knee tendonitis. I wouldn't even call that an injury. And if you happen to have tendonitis, you could look at my guy Jacob, made a program, same guy who made Jump Manual, who made a jumper's knee program. Tendonitis, jumper's knee, same thing. At DreAllDay.com/jumper's knee. One word, jumper's knee, for anyone with tendonitis. That's the only injury I have. So that's the only one I can talk to you about from personal experience. Next, Takeru says, you look really tired, Dre. Anyway, congrats for winning the tournament. He's talking about the 3-on-3 tournament that I mentioned last week in the Q&A that we played up in New York with Finish Line, the sneaker company. Shout out to Finish Line. And, well, thank you to Takeru for the compliment. Vladimir, he says, congrats on winning the 3-on-3. You shows that success isn't just luck. You had to be consistent and keep hitting, keep it up. Well, thank you, Vladimir. Next, Lil Mo says, the ultimate athlete, a prerequisite to position of power. Could I just do the position of power first, and could I repeat the jump manual right after I finish doing it? Does the jump manual require a gym facility? All right, first question. Is ultimate athlete a prerequisite for position of power? No. If you want to do position of power, which is a strength training program requiring weights and equipment, if you've never used a weight room before, you never lifted weights ever before in your life, I would recommend you do the ultimate athlete. But if you used the weight room before, you have lifted weights before, you can go straight into position of power. It does require a gym. It does require weights and equipment and a facility. As long as you have access to one, you could do position of power. If you don't have access to that, do ultimate athlete, because you don't need to do ultimate athlete. No weights, no equipment, no facility, no nothing. You can do it at home. And his next question is, could I repeat the jump manual again right after I finish doing it? No, do not do the jump manual twice in a row, back to back, without space in between. If you own the program, Jacob writes in the program, if you read it, he'll tell you exactly how much time at minimum you should take before you do the jump manual again if you wanted to repeat the program. And he says, the jump manual require a gym facility? Yes, because there is some equipment required. He does have options for people who do it without the gym, but he says if you want maximum results, you need to do it in a gym. And I'm sure all of you want maximum results. You want to buy a program and not want to get the maximum results. Next, Skyland says, I'm going to high school, but I had eye surgery and basketball trials for the first week of school. As a result, I can't play this year because my eye is still healing. Question is, should I train by myself for the year or find a smaller, less competitive league to play in? Thanks. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Well, first of all, Skyland, as far as your second question, why can't you do both? You could train by yourself and find a team to play for. You're not going to just train and not play in any games, because then you won't know if your training is working. And you don't want to just play in games and not train, because then you're not actually improving your skills. You're just playing in games. And the other thing is, you had eye surgery and you can't try out for the basketball team. Why not just put on some goggles like Amari Stoudemire or something like that? I mean, that way nothing can possibly happen to your eye if you have goggles on. Now, I don't know what exactly your eye surgery is or what the situation is, but I think that could be a possible fix where you can try out for the basketball team despite the eye surgery. Next, Mr. Underdog says, have you ever been to an NBA game? Yes, I've been to several NBA games. Next, Frosty Breast, can you make a video on how to become a good and effective leader and what a leader like this is supposed to demonstrate? Well, I could make a video on it. I have made a couple videos where I talk about leadership. Actually, if you look through my motivation playlists, the 2 playlists where I have over 300 videos there, I talk about leadership in several of those videos. A lot of the principles apply to leadership. But overall, if you really want to learn about leadership, I wouldn't suggest you watch a YouTube video. I suggest you read some books. And if you go to my website, dreallday.com, under the guides and tips page, there's a link where I talk about the books that I would recommend anyone to read, recommended reading list. There's a section I believe I got on there that talks about dealing with other people, leadership, working in teams, working with other individuals. Read all of those books, because a book, I was explaining this to my cousin the other day, if somebody might take 10 years of their life experience and put it into a book. So if I can go read that book, it takes me 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks. I actually just finished the book this week by Simon Sinek, read it in 3 days. It's called Leaders Eat Last. You could take 10 years of somebody's experience, or 10 years of research, or 2 years of research that's condensed into a book, and it only takes you a week to read it. You just got 10 years worth of somebody's information in a week. So imagine if you did that over and over and over again and read a whole bunch of books. You get several lifetimes worth of knowledge without having to live several lifetimes, because we only all get to live one lifetime. So that's the reason why books are really important. That's something that principle, that analogy that I just explained, got that from a guy named James Altucher. He's written several books. He has a podcast also. So these are the resources that all you need to be paying attention to. Not just YouTube. There's podcasts, there's magazines, there's books. All you need to be absorbing all of this stuff. And most of this stuff costs very little money. $20 or less for all of it. The only one that costs is books. YouTube is free. Podcasts are free. Magazines, I don't really read that many magazines. I get some every once in a while in the mail that I didn't even order. But books, a book ain't gonna cost you more than $20, but it's worth it, because like I said, you're getting a whole lifetime's worth of someone's knowledge for $20. How many years, how much money, how many experiences did they have to go through to get all that information that's in that book? And you got the whole thing for $20, $10, $2, 99 cents. So it's worth it. If you want to be a leader, you got to be a reader. I don't know if any of you ever heard that quote. Readers are leaders, or leaders are readers, whichever one it is. Read books. Most people, when they get out of school, studies show that 90% of people, once they get out of school, whether it be high school or college, never read another book for the rest of their lives. And 95% of books that get purchased never get read past the first chapter, which is crazy when I heard it. So people actually buy books and never read past the first chapter of that book. Or even audio programs. You know, you could buy an audio program for your sales business, or audio program that motivates you and have your best life. Most people never get past the first CD in an audio program, or the first chapter in an audio program, even after they bought it. So if you want to put yourself above the average people, read books, get a book and actually read the whole book. Not a chapter, not some of it, don't skim it. Read the whole book, read it again, take notes, highlight it, go back through it, learn from it. And then do the same thing with your audio programs and stuff like that. So not just YouTube videos. Go read a book. Anybody can watch a YouTube video because it's easy, it's passive, and is what a lot of people want in this, what we call a microwave economy. If you want to get the real lasting knowledge, you got to read books. There's a lot of stuff that I talk about in these videos come from things that I learned from reading books. And if you go to the book reading list of the stuff that I've read, that I've reviewed, you see all those books that I read. The reason I'm able to put all this knowledge out there to y'all, of course, it comes through my own spin with my own experiences and my own perspective. But a lot of the groundwork, the information, the fundamentals come from books that I read. It's a good question. Next. Royal Freshness says, what happened to competing in the Verse 1 Federation? I can't find any videos on YouTube. Was a good reason you can't find videos on YouTube because I never played in the Verse 1 Federation. They're in Texas. I'm in Miami. We tried to make it work out twice. They were going to come here. That didn't work out. I was going to go there. That didn't work out. Honestly, to keep it real with y'all, it's not a priority for me to play against nobody in the Verse 1 Federation. If it happens to happen, maybe in 2015, it'll happen. Probably after this year, it'll probably never happen. If it doesn't happen this year, honestly, just so y'all know, so people stop asking me about it. Those guys doing their thing over there, I'm doing my thing over here, and if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. But anyway, to answer your question, that's what happened to it. We never played. Next, Amir Clado says, Dre, does taking a warm shower right after icing your knees cancel out the benefits or effects of icing your knees? No, it does not, because while you're icing your knees, what you're doing is constricting the blood flow in your knees so that you can keep down a possibility or keep down any existing inflammation. Once you take the ice off of your knees, the blood flow is going to come back whether you get in the shower or even if you just sit there and do nothing, because the temperature of the atmosphere around you is going to be warmer than that of a bag of ice or an ice pack or whatever it is that you had on your knees. So the blood flow is going to come back even if you don't take a warm shower, even if you took a cold shower. It's not going to be as cold as the ice. You know, there's no water coming out of a faucet that is that cold. So the answer to your question is no. Next, Jamari Reed says, how do I stop shooting twos in the mid-range area so strong? I usually shoot threes and I'm a beast when I drive in, but when I shoot twos, it's too strong. He also says his ankles and knees hurt. He ices them, but the pain will be gone temporarily, but then it comes back as soon as he starts running and jumping. He says you see a lot of players who wear extended knee sleeves. Does that help? And also, what can he do to lighten his fall? Does he put some gel in his shoes? Now, here's the thing, Jamari. Every single question you're asking, the answer is already within the question. All you had to do is do the things you're talking about, and you will have your results. So first, he likes shooting threes, and he's a beast at driving to the basket. The reason you're good at those things probably because you do them all the time and you practice them all the time. You're not good at shooting twos probably because you don't practice it enough. So if you practice shooting twos as much as you did driving and shooting threes, you'd be good at shooting twos. So that answers that question. He says his knees and ankles hurt. When he ices them, the pain leaves, but as soon as he starts running and jumping, it starts hurting again. You might have a problem that's more serious than anything that I'm qualified to address. You need to go see a doctor, a trained professional who gets paid to address problems with people's bodies, specifically athletes. Not somebody on YouTube, not one of your friends at the rec, not your homeboy around the corner. Somebody who actually gets paid to do it because it's your body. You only got one body and you don't want to mess it up. And the next question is, he says he sees players wearing extended knee sleeves. Do they help? Well, you can get it. You know how you can get your answer to that, right? Go get some extended knee sleeves, put them on, and see if they help you. Next, and he also says, what can he do to lighten his fall? Does he put some gel in his shoes? My guy Jacob made a video where he talks about landing with what they call soft knees, quote unquote. A lot of people have talked about this, and you actually look up on the search up there, type in my name and type in the name Jacob. You'll see all the videos Jacob did. He does a video where he talks about how to land with soft knees, and that can help take some strain off of your joints when you're landing. And there is a specific technique to that. So look that video up, and even if it's not Jacob, you can find plenty of videos on YouTube where people talk about that. As far as putting gel in your shoes, put some gel in your shoes and find out. So half of your questions, more than half of your questions, you already had an answer to if you would just do the stuff that you're thinking about, looking at, talking about. Just do it and you'll have your answer. Next, Joseph Penion says, how long have you been unsigned? Do you plan on trying out for overseas teams? So I'm actually signed. I'm signed to Team WOYG. It's a lifetime deal. I don't think anybody could buy me out of that contract. So do I plan on trying out for overseas teams? No, because I'm already signed to WOYG. And couldn't none of them pay me what WOYG is paying me. Next, Kobe Pearson says, what hobbies do you have outside of basketball? Well, I do a lot of things outside of basketball. And funny thing is, a lot of people on YouTube think that's all I do is just make basketball videos. But I do a lot of other stuff. If you look at my social media, Twitter's Dre All Day, Instagram at Dre Baldwin, Snapchat's Dre All Day, and what's the other one? Facebook/work on your game. You'll see at my website, dreallday.com, you'll get a pretty good overview of the things that I do. And I mean, I pretty much will tell you everything. If you go to all those things and you kind of follow me and see what I'm talking about, what I'm doing day to day, you'll see a lot of stuff that I do outside of basketball. Next, State of Nate says, when did you start playing baseball as a kid and what position did you play? I stopped playing baseball at the same time that I started playing basketball. So I was around age 13 or 14 and I played center field in baseball. Next, Jared Lopez said, keep up the good work. My question is, do you think the Suns will make it to the playoffs? Well, thank you, Jared. I haven't really thought too much about the overall picture of the NBA this offseason since it hasn't been any games. I haven't been thinking about it at all. But if I had to give you a quick knee-jerk answer to that question, will the Suns make the playoffs? I'd say no. Next, Brandon Cheshire says, Dre, I wonder if you had any exercises or drills that can help me with quickness, strength, and vertical. Keep up the good work. Well, Braden, quickness, I got a speed and quickness playlist. I have a vertical jump playlist, and I have a strength training playlist. So the answer to that is yes. If you want a complete program that combines all of that stuff in one, that would be the Ultimate Athlete 15-week program written by my trainer, certified strength and conditioning coach Maria Solon Scally. It is 15 weeks, requires no equipment, no gym, no facility, no weights. You can do it at home in your living room. You can do it outside on your front lawn. You can do it in the gym if you want to. And again, Maria will be answering questions in the Ask the Expert series, which will be coming out as soon as she starts to get recording the answers. You'll start seeing those videos come out. If you didn't see the original video where I solicited the questions, go back to this past Sunday where that video is out. You can leave your comments, whatever questions you have down there in the comments, and we'll eventually get to them. Next question. Emmanuel says, if you could have changed something from the past that led up to you not making it, what would it be? Example, your mindset, your workouts, your diet, etc. Well, I wouldn't consider myself to be someone who didn't make it. I don't know what it is you consider to be making it, but I made a whole lot of things, actually. If you look at all the stuff that I just mentioned, my Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and my website, dreallday.com, there's a whole lot of things that I made that you see a lot of people doing now that I started. So to say that I didn't make it would be a misnomer, is actually a fallacy, so I can't address your question because it's based on a falsehood. Next question. Mr. Rehards says, what's your favorite crossover move, and did you ever break someone's ankles? Well, I never actually physically, literally broke a person's ankle, but I guess by breaking ankles you mean do a crossover move that is impressive or makes them fall or makes them look bad. Yeah, I've done that plenty of times. What's my favorite crossover move? I don't have a favorite crossover move. In that moment, whenever I'm playing, if I'm on the court and I do a crossover move and it gets me what I want, which is space for me to create a pass or a shot, then that's my favorite move for the moment. But the next moment, I might have a different favorite move because I might need to do something different for the different situation. KCI Otila says, how can I be a better finisher? Do I have any videos on how he can be a better finisher? Please answer both. Well, KCI, I think you watch a lot of these videos. You're in the Q&A comments often. So unless you only come here on Saturdays and watch the Q&A, I'm sure you see the videos I put out Sunday through Friday. So go watch those videos because I have about 1,000 driving moves videos that all require finishing at the basket. So go, not only watch them, don't just watch them. Go actually take what you see and use it and go work on your game, and then you'll be better at finishing. Next. The Good Guys Full says, what were your grades in high school? How difficult or easy was it for you to get an academic scholarship to play at a college? My grades in high school were pretty average. Probably after elementary school, I was a pretty average student in school. Once I realized that there was nobody teaching in any school that could teach me what I wanted to do once I got out of school, which is obvious now because nobody was teaching social media. Nobody could teach YouTube or Twitter. Nobody could teach blogging or personal branding. Nobody could teach playing professional basketball because nobody at the school working there was doing any of that stuff. So they can't teach what they don't know. As far as how difficult or easy was it to get an academic scholarship to play at a college, I didn't have an academic scholarship. I had a couple grants here and there, maybe $1,500 here, $500 there, $1,000 there. But if any of you know the cost of college nowadays, you know that's really pretty much nothing. It's more than nothing, but it ain't much. So I didn't have an academic scholarship to play at a college. I walked on to a school. So I couldn't answer that question because I don't have that experience. Next, Ethan says, how do I deal with people I see every day at the gym and they talk shit about my game even when I'm better than them? Who said you had to deal with them? You don't have to do anything. Anybody can talk shit about you. Human beings can say whatever they want. Nobody requires you to respond to it. I can sit here and talk shit about you right now. That doesn't mean you had to respond to it. Doesn't mean you had to believe it. Doesn't mean you had to argue with me. Doesn't mean you had to do anything. You can just keep living your life. Just because I said something doesn't mean you had to do anything. And same thing vice versa. Somebody could talk shit to me. It doesn't mean I got to say something back to them. Doesn't mean I got to listen. Doesn't mean I got to care. Doesn't mean I got to think about it. Doesn't mean I got to consult somebody. What should I do? I could just keep doing what I'm doing and ignore it, completely ignore it as if it didn't even happen. Next, Jordan says, when will you post another story video, or are you? Yes, I will post more story videos. We got a lot of ideas to record that's coming up. Everything's coming soon, so everybody stay tuned. Next, Jesse says, I'm going to a basketball camp where the campers I play against are high-level teams. I see this as a good opportunity for myself to market myself. What are some things I can do to get noticed by the visiting coaches and scouts? Of course, I want to play my best, but are there tactics such as talking to them and creating a bond with them so they can remember a good idea? Well, no, Jesse, because if you can't play, they're not going to want to talk to you and create a bond with you. Coaches and scouts are going to want to create a bond with a player who can play. So the only thing you need to focus on is being able to play at your best. So you already got that idea, so just do that. Don't worry about anything else. Once you become so good that everybody wants to talk to you and create a bond with you, then you can worry about winning friends and influencing people, as Dale Carnegie would say. But first of all, if you can't play, and nobody's going to give a shit about what you got to say. So first of all, focus on your game, play as good as you can, and worry about everything else when you get to that bridge. You'll cross that bridge when you get there. It's what one of my friends used to say. Ram Bar Gav says, Dre, I want to play two guard. Can I please recommend an athlete? Keep up the daily content. I don't know what he means by that, but I guess he's talking about the NBA signature workouts. I'm going to assume that he is, so I can talk about the signature workouts again. Right now, we got 33 new programs that are out, total of 86 NBA signature workout programs, over 150 programs total on the website, hoophandbook.com. 2 guards, Bradley Beal, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Paul George, Allen Iverson, and a whole bunch more that I can't even think of off the top of my head. Go to the website, hoophandbook.com. I got a card, an annotation up here. Just click on that, take you right over to the website. Find your favorite player, find a player whose game you most want to add their skills to your game. Get the program, work on your fucking game. Success is guaranteed. Next, Ricky Gutierrez says, Dre, I can't stop shooting from my chest. Anytime I try to shoot from my face and a little above my head, I always airball. Thank you for your videos. Well, he didn't actually ask me a question. He just gave me a piece of information. But, Ricky, I'll answer your information by saying practice the way that you want to shoot. Do it slowly. Get as close to the basket as possible. Shoot the way you want to shoot. Then take a half step backwards and keep taking a half step till you get to your entire shooting range. Doing it the way that you want to shoot, not the way that you don't want to shoot. Next, Prince Beniana says, Dre, do you plan on making another run and play pro overseas? Oh, I already told everybody I'm signed to WOYG as a lifetime deal, so I don't have to make another run to go nowhere. If I go anywhere, it's going to be under the contract of WOYG. Next, Daniel B says, you have a legit good pill, legit would go. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds positive, so thank you, Daniel. And that's it for the question. Everybody, thank you for coming through for Q&A number 83. You got any questions that I didn't address or something that maybe I did address, you got a different question about it, leave it in the comments of this video. I'll address it in next week's Q&A. That's it. You already heard about hoophandbook.com. I ain't got to say it again, but I will. 86 signature workout programs there. Over 150 programs on the website total. Any questions for me, leave them in the comments here. Y'all know how to reach me. Twitter, Dre All Day. Snapchat, Dre All Day. Instagram, Dre Baldwin. Facebook / Work On Your Game. Websites, DreAllDay.com. And you're already here on YouTube. Work on your fucking game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.